Good evening, this is TCN English News Edition, and you're watching with me, Ning Hoi Kim Kong Sai. First, the headlines. ZMFDI experiences God's visit once again. Around 5,000 believers attended the program. Rainfall accompanied with thunderstorm and lightning last Manipur. To continue for the next couple of days, says IMD. News in detail. Gospel Ministry for Disabilities India, ZMFDI, experiences the deliverance of another message from God yesterday, the 21st of May 2024 at 7 p.m. sharp and lasted for around 2 hours. The believers had gathered there by 4 p.m. already, where they sing and pray and wait for the intercession hour with God. The believer says that God spoke to them here with His voice. The believers have experienced this type of unearthly activities many times, even before the start of the conflict, where they were warned of the upcoming Manipur violence and many other things as well. In this very place, the workers used to cast out evil spirit who possess human, with the aim to take their life. The message God delivers says that He will not show Himself in the church established by men, but at this very place where His people humbly come together to pray with love and kindness. The church built by man, I shall not go there, say the message.
Nang ho kitundo ho bunga kay ma ki pong katin jalay mo na ngaylut na nakito na muna kay ma hagaw ting chen na muna kay ma ki pong ning kahi ti kana say sahi.
The workers, evangelist Jin Kolam and evangelist Hang Lin Say and Robert performs miraculously works in the name of Jesus, where they heal the sick and possessed and also give deliverance to those who want to be born again. Healing prayers were made by the evangelists for the sick and needy that comes to them, so that they can pray for them and cure their physical and spiritual illness. Mention may be made that this type of event occurred since last year. It may be hard to believe, but the Manipur conflict had already been predicted here a week before it started. So many unearthly events are witnessed by the people who went here to pray and worship. At the beginning, there were just few hundreds of believers, but the number of believers kept on increasing every day. Yesterday, the event was attended by around 5,000 believers who come to listen to the message God delivers. The message also says that the believers have overcome two steps out of the 3 steps He had arranged for them to overcome. After all, the 3 steps are crossed or overcome by the believers. God will bless and show His mercy and do a miraculous work upon His people.
Aji chun nakal se diu kalni jong he beiwa tanti.
People who do not get seat inside occupy the place outside, sitting on the highway and completely stopping traffic in the area. The attendees further occupied the cemetery area, which is situated opposite to ZMFDI, where they sat on tombstone and even on the roof of the waiting shed there. A projector was fixed outside and the event occurring inside was displayed for those who were sitting outside. The believers unceasingly pray for the cookie zone nations every day since the beginning of the conflict.
We are here at GMFDI Gospel Ministry for Disabilities India, and this is a place where God Himself speaks to His people through His own voice. And this is not the first time that God has delivered His message to His people. This may be at least the 20th or the 30th time that God has spoken to His people, that is the Kukizo people, in this very place, GMFDI. Since the beginning of the conflict in 2023, God has unveiled so many secrets about the Meitei atrocious nature to the Kuki-Zo people, their plans and their evil schemes. And God also have saved so many Kuki-Zo village volunteers by protecting them at the front lines. And all this has been achieved because of the people who believe in God and have been praying for the people here, for the village volunteers here. And as we can see, the number of believers have been increasing each day. At the initial stage, the believers were just few hundreds, but now the believers have increased to around 50,000. And this is one of the progress that the GMFDI have achieved in the spiritual background. And as we can see, the place is so crowded that the people are and as we can see, the place is so crowded due to the increasing number of believers. So many people who are not who cannot fit in the venue or the campus of the GMFDI are seen sitting in the cemetery or in the highway, blocking the entire path. This shows that the believers have been increasing tremendously as compared to the initial stage of the time when God used to deliver His message to His people. And as we can see today too, God has delivered His message to us. It has been almost 30 minutes that God has spoken to His people now. The people here are eagerly waiting for the message that God has bring for them today. And I believe that the believers will keep on increasing, and that so many people, especially all of the Kuki-Zo people, especially the believers, will benefit from this God message, and that the Kuki-Zo people will get God's mercy due to the believers who keep on continually praying for the betterment of the Kuki-Zo nation, and for the village volunteers, and for the leaders as well. God bless Kuki-Zo nation. Reporting for Teaching Network, I am Team Hauki.
On the other hand, the incident at GMFDI had become a topic of controversy, since there are believers and non-believers. Some proclaims it to be the work of the devil, while the others proclaim it to be the work of the living God. As forecasted by India Meteorological Department (IMD), light to moderate rainfall accompanied with thunderstorm and lightning was observed at most places over Manipur during the 24 hours. IMD also forecast widespread rain and thunderstorms is likely to continue in the next couple of days over Manipur. The weather department said scattered to fairly widespread light to moderate rainfall accompanied with thunderstorm, lightning and gusty winds 30 to 40 km per hour, very likely over sub-Himalayan West Bengal, Manipur, and the rest of northeast states during the next 5 days. It said a cyclonic circulation lies over Bangladesh and adjoining West Bengal, and a trough runs from northwest Rajasthan to Bangladesh in lower tropospheric levels. Light to moderate rainfall at many places, with heavy rainfall at isolated places, is likely over South Manipur, Mizoram, and Tripura on 25th and 26th May, the IMD added. The bodies of the two Kuki-Zo IRB personnel who went to Uttar Pradesh for elections duty and died there due to heat stroke were brought home today. The bodies arrived at All SP office, Tribung today at around 7:30 a.m. The two IRB personnel belongs to 1st IRB headquarters Veng Lamka and identified as one Havildar, Hausamang Guite, 55 years, son of L. Kamkhanpal Guite of Persian Moon, Lamka, and Havildar Mangzatang Hokip, son of L. Onzapal Hokip of Songzakupi, who was attached to Manipur Police Training Center, Lamka respectively. The burial program was attended by Saik Mohammed Zaib Zakir, SP Lamka, and Lun Kumang Kungsai, Commandant 1st IRB, and also offered their condolences to the burial families. Stock parade was performed by 1st IRB and police, followed by garlanding of the two coffined and giving away of Indian flag to the families of the burial families. Havildar Hausa Manguite was previously serving in the 10th IRB, but due to the conflict, he was transferred to 1st IRB Lamka. Havildar Mangsathang Haukip was serving in the Manipur Police Training Center, Bangay, but was transferred to SP Lamka due to the conflict, and they were posted at Uttar Pradesh for the elections duty. Their cause of death was reported as heat stroke, and they died on the 20th of May 2024 due to their body inability to tolerate the rising heat of the state. Their bodies were carried by air through Aizawl, and from there it was transported through road, and they reached their homes today, where their burial program was gradually organized. Hausa Manguite was posted in Mirswara village for elections duty. He was reported sick since the evening of May 19 and was taken to community health center. And since his condition did not improve, he was transferred to Jhansi Medical College, but unfortunately he did not recover from his sickness and passed away. Superintendent of Police SP Mohammed Mushtaq said that Hausamang was a diabetes patient and that his BP was quite low. Uttar Pradesh temperature rises a lot this summer and even rises to 42 degrees Celsius at noon. A passenger bus traveling from Karimganj district to Silchar met with a severe accident near Manesira railway stations in Hailakandi today, May 22, injuring around 20 passengers. The incident occurred when the bus lost control and collided with a tree in front of the Manesira railway station. As per India Today Northeast, the force of the impact caused significant damage to the bus and left numerous passengers with injuries. Emergency services responded swiftly to the scene, and all the injured passengers have been admitted to SK Roy Civil Hospital in Hailakandi. Hospital officials reported that the injured are receiving necessary medical attention, though the extent of their injuries varies. Eyewitnesses described the scene as chaotic, with bystanders rushing to assist the injured before emergency services arrived. Preliminary investigation suggests that the driver might have lost control due to a mechanical failure, but a thorough investigation is underway. Political strategist Prashant Kishore on Tuesday claimed that there is neither significant dissatisfaction with the incumbent Bharatiya Janata Party government at the center, nor a strong demand for an alternative in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. In an interview with NDTV, the Jan Swaraj Party chief also said Prime Minister Narendra Modi is likely to guide the BJP to another victory in the Lok Sabha elections 2024, predicting that the Saffron Party's seat count could be lost or even surpass its 2019 tally of 303. I think Modi-led BJP is retarding. They may get the same numbers as last elections or do slightly better, and the TV quoted Prashant Kishore as saying, "Follow live updates on Lok Sabha elections 2024. We should look at the fundamentals. If there is anger against the incumbent government and its leaders, there is a possibility that regardless of whether there is an alternative, people may decide to vote them out. So far, we have not heard that there is widespread public anger against Modi-ji. There may be disappointment, unfulfilled aspirations, but we have not heard of widespread anger," Prashant Kishore added. Responding to questions on the BJP's 370 seats and the NDA's 400-plus target, Prashant Kishore said, "If the BJP wins 275 seats, its leaders are not going to say that we will not form the government because we had claimed we will win 370. So we need to see whether they are getting 272, the majority mark. Politics and chatter will continue. Those doing commentary will continue to do so. But I don't see any risk, and NDA seems to be returning to power." Interestingly, Prashant Kishore's predictions come shortly after Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Tuesday said, with the completion of its fast to the Lok Sabha polls, it is becoming clearer that Narendra Modi government is on its way out, and the India bloc is coming to power on June 4th. Addressing a virtual press conference, Arvind Kejriwal said the India bloc will give a stable government to the country. With its passing poll fast, it is becoming clearer that the Modi government is on its way out, and the India bloc will come to power on June 4th, the Delhi Chief Minister said. On Tuesday, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal hit back at Union Home Minister Amit Shah for claiming that he and Congress Rahul Gandhi had more supporters in Pakistan than in India. At a press conference, Kejriwal contended that fewer than 500 people attended Shah's public meeting in Sangam, Bihar on Monday. On Monday, at an elections meeting, Shah has said Arvind Kejriwal and Rahul Baba are two people who are not supported by anyone in Bharat. They are more popular in Pakistan. Kejriwal wanted to know whether the people of Delhi and Punjab who voted AAP to power in these states were considered Pakistanis by Shah. The people of Delhi gave us 62 seats and 56% vote share. Are the people of Delhi Pakistanis? The people of Punjab gave us 92 out of 117 seats. Are the people of Punjab Pakistanis? Asked Kejriwal. Having earlier claimed that Shah was the successor of Modi, who would have to give up Prime Minister's seat when he reached 75 years next year. Kejriwal continued with his criticism of the Union Minister, saying, "You have not even become PM yet, and yet you have already become so arrogant. For your information, let me tell you that you are not becoming PM because on June 4, people are not giving BJP the seats to form the government. BJP is going out. Control your ego a little and do not abuse the public." Kejriwal also mentioned that UP CM Yogi Adityanath had abused him and reiterated his earlier claim. "I want to politely tell him that your real enemies are in your parties." After the elections, Narendra Modi and Amit Shah have a plan to remove you from this post of CM. You deal with them, Kejriwal said. In response to Kejriwal's accusations, Ranveer Singh Bidhuri, the BJP candidate from South Delhi constituency, countered that more than 50,000 people were present at Amit Shah's rally in Sangam Vihar. Upon seeing the crowd at Shah's meeting, Bidhuri said Kejriwal forgot to count and was attempting to divert attention from the assault case involving Swati Maliwal. He also claimed that Kejriwal had no answer to the ED's allegations of foreign funding. Bidhuri concluded by stating Kejriwal has no answer to the 7 schemes mentioned by Home Minister Amit Shah, which are currently under investigations. Hence, seeing the possibility of a third consecutive clean sweep by BJP, he loses composure.
अरविंद केजरीवाल और राहुल बाबा दो लोग ऐसे हैं जिनको भारत में कोई समर्थन नहीं करता, उनके समर्थक पाकिस्तान में ज्यादा है, पाकिस्तान में ज्यादा है।
आपको प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अपना वारिस चुना है, इस बात का आपको इतना अहंकार हो गया कि आप लोगों को गालियां देने लगे, धमकियां देने लगे। अभी तो आप पीएम बने नहीं हैं और आपको इतना अहंकार हो गया।
Delhi BJP President Virendra Sachdeva charged AAP with accepting funds from foreign countries, receiving political donations from those who talk about breaking India, and standing with the separatist elements of the country. Kejriwal stood calm and watched the recording of Amit Shah's rally with me, Sachdeva said. The Elections Commission of India, ECI, on Wednesday issued a stern warning to BJP and the main opposition Congress, asking the two major political parties to desist from campaigning along caste, community, language, and communal lines. The poll panel asked BJP President J.P. Nadda and Congress Chief Mallikarjun cursed to issue formal notes to their star campaigners, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Rahul Gandhi, to correct their discourse, exercise care, and maintain decorum. Chief Poll Body observed that the two big parties cannot be allowed to weaken the heritage of quality electoral experience of Indian voter. In an official notifications issued on Wednesday, the poll body directed the BJP and its campaigner to refrain from religious and communal overtones during campaigning in the elections, referring to JP Nada's response to a poll body notice after the Congress lodged a complaint against the BJP's alleging divisive campaigning by the Saffron Party. The Elections Commission cited many hot topics that featured in speeches made by party star campaigners. These topics included mentions of wealth distribution clause in the Congress manifesto, the Indian Alliance alleged attacks on Sanatan Dharma and its tenets, Sakti remarks by Congress leaders, calling the Congress manifestos and Muslim League manifestos. Congress claims that the BJP could change the constitution, among others. Meanwhile, the poll body also pulled up the Congress, asking it to make sure that its stars campaigners do not make any unsubstantiated claims, such as the BJP may change the constitution if they are voted to power. The Elections Commission also raped the Congress for politicizing defense forces as its stars campaigners made divisive statements, potentially hurting the socio-cultural fabric of the armed forces. The poll panel said it took thorough note of the grievances raised to it by both the major parties and rejected their respective defenses in response to EC notice, observing that while no unlimited liberty can be granted to the opposition while campaigning, there rests an extra responsibility with the ruling dispensation when it comes to maintaining political decorum in terms of touching upon sensitive topics like caste, community, and religion. As of now, 5 phases of the Lok Sabha elections have been completed, taking place on April 19, April 26, May 7, May 13, and May 20 respectively, while 2 more phases are to be held on May 25 and June 1. Coming to international news. Israel's Ministry of Transportation, its National Emergency Authority, and the ministry's infrastructure companies practice responding to challenges in a multi-sector emergency scenario. The exercise was held as part of assessment being made in case of an all-out war, and Israel braces for the possibility of an expansion of the fighting with the terrorist organizations Hezbollah based in Lebanon. The exercise examined high-intensity, multi-arena war in the face of the outline and challenges, alongside the strengthening of integrations and mutual relations between all the bodies and organizations that partner to provide a response to significant events in a multi-arena scenario, and the presentations of the challenges and the response of the road infrastructure companies to prolonged power outages. Also, in the exercise, emphasis was placed on informing the public, maintaining the resilience of the supply chain, and a functional continuity of the road infrastructure companies. The war game was held with the participations led by the Director General of the Ministry of Transportation and Road Safety, Moshe Ben-Jagan, with the participations of the representatives of the Ministry's Emergency and Infrastructure Departments. The head of the National Emergency Authority, Yoram Laredo, the chairman of Natibi Israel Company, Yigal Amadi, the CEO of Natibi Israel, Nissim Perich, representatives of government ministries, CEOs of infrastructure companies, concessionaries, the IDF, and the Israel Police. And Wural Azim Anar, an MP from Bangladesh ruling Awami League, has been found murdered in Kolkata after he went missing on May 30th. Police reached a high-rise building in Kolkata's New Town area on Wednesday morning to probe the death of the Bangladeshi MP, who had arrived in India for a medical checkup on May 12th. According to the latest development now, the Central Investigations Bureau (CID) will investigate the murder case of the Bangladeshi leader. As per reports, several bloodstains were found in the New Town building where Anwar Azim is believed to have been murdered, and forensic investigations is currently underway. The police suspect that he had been murdered and that his body has been dumped in the area. 3 persons have been arrested in this regard. Bangladesh Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan addressed a news conference in Dhaka and said the MP was killed in Calcutta. The 3 persons were arrested by the Bangladeshi police in connection with Anwar Azim's murder. So far, we have come to know that all the killers involved are Bangladeshis. It was a planned murder, Khan said. Although he was not informed about the whereabouts of the body. The motive of the murder is yet to be known. Anwar Azim came to the West Bengal capital on May 12. Was last seen on the afternoon of May 13 when he went with friends to a home in Bidhanagar near Kolkata for a medical checkup. According to a family friend in Kolkata's Bidhanagar, the MP mentioned he would be traveling to Delhi, but there has been no physical presence or direct contact with him since May 13. Concerned by the lack of communications and sudden alleged disappearance, the MP's friend Gopal Viswas, who was informed by the MP's daughter of her inability to contact her father, lodged a missing person complaint at the Baranagar police stations in Bidhanagar, Kolkata. On the morning of May 16th, Anwar Azim called his assistant but could not connect. Later, when his PA called him back, he did not answer. According to the complaint dated May 18, 2024, his daughter called me, Wiswas, and said, "I can't communicate with my father." Then Wiswas contacted all his Anwar Azim's acquaintances on the phone, but it was not possible to contact him. I was then requested to come to Baranagar police stations on May 18 to register the complaint in the missing diary, it added. Azim was the Awami League lawmaker from the Jhinai 4 constituency. Further updates on the circumstances surrounding the MP's stay in Kolkata are anticipated as the situation unfolds. Russia's military has begun drills involving tactical nuclear weapons that were announced by Russian authorities earlier this month in an apparent warning to senior Western officials who had spoken about the possibility of deeper involvement in the war in Ukraine. It is the first time Russia has publicly announced drills involving tactical nuclear weapons, although its strategic nuclear forces regularly all exercises. According to a statement by the Defense Ministry released on Tuesday, the first stage of the new drills envisioned practical training in the preparations and the use of non-strategic nuclear weapons, including nuclear-capable Kinjal and Iskander missiles. The maneuvers are taking place in the southern military district, which consists of the Russian regions in the south, including on the border with Ukraine, Crimea, illegally annexed from Ukraine in 2014, and 4 Ukrainian regions that Russia illegally annexed in 2022 and partially occupies. The drills were announced on May 6, with the Defense Ministry saying in a statement that they would come in response to provocative statements and threats of Russian Western officials regarding the Russian Federation. Tactical nuclear weapons include air bombs, warheads for short-range missiles, and artillery munitions, and are meant for use on a battlefield. They are less powerful than the strategic weapons, massive warheads that arm intercontinental ballistic missiles and are intended to obliterate entire cities. The announcement came after French President Emmanuel Macron reiterated that he doesn't exclude sending troops to Ukraine, and the UK's Foreign Secretary Lord David Cameron said Kyiv's forces will be able to use British long-range weapons to strike targets inside Russia. The Kremlin branded those comments as dangerous, heightening tensions between Russia and NATO. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said on May 6 that Macron's statement and other remarks by British and US officials had prompted the nuclear drills, calling the remarks a new round of escalations. That's all from us tonight, and we thank you for joining our program.